So if you've looked at Cambiar El Mundo or listened to me say the title, you've probably noticed that some of it is in Spanish. Take a look at the Spanish lyrics that are present in Cambiar El Mundo and talk about what they mean and also how we pronounce it, specifically in a way that doesn't sound as much like we're a bunch of North Hall rednecks. Yeah, come on. At the beginning of the song, you sing the word cambiar a few times, and then at the beginning of the refrain and in the middle of the refrain as well, you sing the entire phrase Cambiar El Mundo, which is also the title of the song. Let's talk about what each of these individual words mean. The word cambiar in Spanish means change. The word el is one of the two forms of the word the. And mundo means world. So the entire phrase together means change the world. So here I focus just on the word cambiar, and I have written kind of a phonetic approach to how to pronounce it. Let me explain because I know this looks like gibberish. A letter C at the beginning of a Spanish word is not quite as aggressive as a letter C at the beginning of an English word. If we were looking at the word corn, for example, we would put a lot of k sound in that opening C. Whereas in Spanish, when letter C comes before a vowel at the beginning of a word, it's a little bit softer. It's a little closer to the sound we make when we have an initial G at the beginning of the word. So instead of cambiar, it's cambiar. So I'm using the back of my tongue like I would do if I were saying the word like gut, like an opening letter G. So instead of cambiar, it's cambiar, cambiar. Both of those A's are pronounced A, and of course that letter I is pronounced E. Letter B is pretty much the same, and so is letter M. Isn't that nice? But then this R that happens right here on the end, we're going to use what we sometimes call a flipped or a European R. So in American English, when we say the letter R, our tongue like gathers up at the back of our mouth, which is why our letter R can go on literally forever. But with a European or a flipped R, instead of performing the letter R with the back of your tongue, you use the tip of your tongue and you just slightly flick it against the back of your teeth or that front section of the roof of your mouth, like you're saying the letter D. So instead of cambiar, it's cambiar. Did you see? Did you see? Cambiar, cambiar. If you do that too many times, you end up going grrr. The rest of the phrase is not nearly as challenging. A lot of this are sounds that we make in English as well. So el is just good old el. Try not to make it like el. And then mundo. Moon like the moon up in the sky with a very round, not moon, the way you would sing it in a country song, but moon with a very round, pure oo. And then do. Again, not mundo, like you're looking out the window, not like it's got a W at the end of it, just a pure o. El mundo. In the first verse, you sing the word esperanza, which is Spanish for hope, which makes sense in the context of the verse, right? Learning how to find esperanza, learning how to find hope. Once again, I've written something of a phonetic spelling, and again, I know it looks crazy, but let's break it down. All of your E's are going to be pronounced just a good open sound, and then your A's are going to be pronounced ah. Other than that, the other letters, just about all of the consonants are pronounced the same way we would in English, except for that letter R. We're going to use that flipped R just like we did at the end of cambiar. So it's not esperanza, it's esperanza. Say that with me, esperanza. The Spanish phrase that you have in Cambiar El Mundo is hablar a todos, which means talk to everyone, which is probably something you would need to do if you were trying to change the world. Now, the H at the beginning of hablar is not actually pronounced. It's a silent H, so we're just going to pretend it's not even there. Bye! Leaves us with a couple of A's, and we already know that A is pronounced A. The BL is pronounced pretty much the same way we would in English. And then that R on the end is a flipped R, so it's like a little letter D. So you would say hablar. All right, there's another new sound that you don't necessarily have to use, but I think it makes it sound a little bit more authentic. So the way we pronounce the letter T in American English, particularly in Southern American English, is that we close our tongue against this hard part of the roof of our mouth, our hard palate, and then force air through it. T, t, t. Makes a very plosive sound, kind of like our initial C sound. But the way I want you to pronounce the T in todos is what we call a dental T. So instead of putting your tongue up against the roof of your mouth like you would for a letter T like you would normally say, you're going to put your tongue against the back of your teeth so it produces a softer sound. todos, rather than todos. And of course, A is pronounced A, just like it is in the rest of the Spanish phrases of the songs. You have a todos. And the reason I drew the T in the phonetic pronunciation a little funny is because to me, putting your tongue against the back of your teeth is closer to the way we would pronounce the TH sound in American English. So you're not saying a todos, you're not actually pronouncing it like a TH, but you're putting your tongue in the same place you normally would if you were about to make the TH sound. A todos. So all of our Spanish lyrics in their entirety are Cambiar el Mundo, Esperanza, and Hablar a Todos.